anticipate, so relax. You'll be okay. You know, we're going to give you a safety brief, and I want you to pay attention, Andreas. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about flying. It's pretty special being on this airplane. Obviously, there were 18,000 built, as you know. 18,000 built, the most number of U.S. military aircraft of any type in history. There's one still flying, and this is it. And as you know, it was operated by tens of thousands of crew members. There were 10,000 of these aircraft lost. 5,000 of them shot down. 5,000 of them crashed in pilot accidents. So it's with those people in mind that we think of that. Does anybody have a family connection to the airplane?
My dad flew.
Let me come in just a little bit. Let me hold on one second.
Sure.
What he's doing is he's misting oil into each engine for the purpose of doing some pre-lubrication. But go ahead.
I'm Pam Hudson. My dad, Bud Goad, was a nose turret gunner.
Nose turret, so right there.
Right. In World War II, and he was shot down May 6, 1944. Obviously survived. And he's in the book, The Forgotten 500. He's one of those 500, so thank goodness.
And he bailed out?
They bailed out, right.
So he probably went from there and came out those doors, you see they're painted red there? That would have been his emergency bailout alternate there. By the way, he's going to give you a safety briefing, and when he says don't step on those doors, because they're the emergency bailout doors, they will break away, as will those bomb bay doors. So pay attention to what he's saying.
Great.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And he passed away when I was 12, and my two older brothers, he never even spoke to any of us about all of that.
Yeah.
But since then, we've gotten a lot of research and have his missing in action report. And we have his, what's the map called?
Silk Escape map.
Yeah, the Silk Escape map. We have that, and we have the article from the paper. We met today. And my grandmother, who's passed, also, she cut it out of the paper, and I've saved it ever since. So
that's awesome.
yeah, it's just a nice connection.
So my grandfather, my mother's father, I'm Katie. Murray Simon was a pilot on a B-24 night mission, on his 11th mission over France. He got shot down. He was shot down, and he and his whole crew survived. He parachuted out.
What was his name?
Mary Simon, the Simon crew.
What's his name?
Murray Simon.
Murray.
S-I-M-O-N. But it was one of the black modified Liberators for night missions. They were dropping spies and supplies to the underground, and a French doctor who was in the resistance smuggled him to the OSS, and he made it back to Barcelona and he went. And his brother 5 weeks earlier was shot down in a B-24 that looked more like this over the Pacific as a navigator.
My great uncle James Walter Smith was a bombardier on the Satan's Sister, the second aircraft to bear that designation. The first one was destroyed, and this is the second group that carried that on the third. The 45th Bomber Group, Marabie's Butchers.
Which one's he?
He's the short little one, the only one that could fit in the bombardier station. So,
which is up front, and down below you can see the northern bomb site right there.
Started in October of 43 and exploded in July of 45. Passed through June and early 46. He's buried in the family plot out in Virginia, and he was quoted a couple of times in the Chicago Tribune doing the raids on Raoul several times, and flew, I think, a combination of over 90 missions. So that's why I'm up today in this bird to honor his service.
Well, all of us, right? That's what we're all doing today. It's, you mentioned your grandpa, and nobody talked about their combat experiences because why? Those weren't necessarily good memories. You know, the young men, those are young men and boys. 6 gunners on the airplane. They typically were 18 years old, 19 years old. The pilots 20, 21. If you were 24, 25, you were an old man of the squadron, the colonel.
Training. How much training? 6 months, 9 months?
The guys went through a couple-year program, but by the time they deployed to combat, they typically had only 300 flight hours. I told you that Will and I have over 20,000. By the time they came back from combat, except for some of the 90 missions, they typically had about 1,000 hours. So they'd be lucky if between the pilot and co-pilot they had 1,000 total flight hours. And you know, we're doing joyriding today. I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. Beautiful day. We're going to take off by ourselves, single shift, go out over the Everglades, turn around and come back. What were they doing? Large formations, climbing up through the clouds. hundreds of aircraft attacked by German fighters, then flak over the targets. Freezing conditions at altitude, minus 20, minus 30. Frostbite was a big problem. Who they went to breakfast with in the morning, they didn't expect them to be there at night. In Europe, the combat losses were about 5% per mission on heavy bombers, 5%. That doesn't sound bad, 95% chance of coming back from that sortie. But what if you have to do 25? 5 times 25. So most of them viewed themselves as a goner, and it's just a matter of when. And those who survived probably have some guilt feelings about it and stuff. And I've been in combat, I'm sure the colonel has too, and didn't bring all my guys back from Afghanistan, and I understand, you wear that. Now, not to be a downer, it's a very significant thing. The last thing I'd tell you is we talk about the World War II generation as the greatest generation, right? I don't believe that. It was a great generation, but it was a generation that was alive at that time. But the Americans that are alive and serving in Afghanistan and Iraq on their 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th, 13th combat tour are cut from the exact same cloth. You can be confident that we have that kind of quality in our nation today, inner quality, and it exists in your military today.
My dad's 95. He's in 3rd Army, 4th Army Battalion, combat medic. Teaches class, goes and lectures in Middle Tennessee on the Holocaust because he was a war dog. And his biggest concern with our country is I went to war and knew I either won or didn't come back. Our guys today go and come back, go and come back, go and come back. And it's just brutal on them.
When you get done from the flight, talk to my wife over there because she's from Middle Tennessee and her grandpa opened the gates at Nordhaus.
Really?
But you guys, after the flight, give us about 5 minutes to shut down and stuff. Don't run off if you want. I'd like to hear your experiences and what you thought and questions and stuff. We'll meet out in front of the airplane. The reason I wrote Murray on my hand is I'm going to be flying the airplane today. And his name is there. He's going to be flying the airplane.
Ow.
Okay, so I'll hold it there. Hey, pay attention to this young man.